Chapter 249. The barbarian king charged forward fiercely, his eyes shining like headlights, gripping a primitive spiked club tightly in his right hand. Suddenly, a massive mist beast, as tall as a building, appeared before him, forcing the barbarian king to slow down abruptly. This creature was not only enormous, but also exuded a formidable spiritual energy. In an instant, a powerful punch cut through the air towards him. The barbarian king leaped to evade, but as soon as the first punch finished, the mist beast launched another, still with its right hand. The speed of these attacks was astonishingly fast, leaving the barbarian king no choice but to raise his spiked club to block the strike. The impact was immense, sending a shocking force through his entire body and pushing him backward. His proud spiked club was knocked out of his hand. Meanwhile, the divine tree observed intently, assessing the situation. This was a rare opportunity to study the strength of these mist beasts, which had just reached the fifth order. However, their power seemed only equivalent to the fourth order of mutated beasts from outside, slightly below the divine tree's expectations. Next, the divine tree summoned another mist general, a kangaroo, making a total of 2 formidable beasts standing before the barbarian king. He was startled. These creatures seemed to appear out of nowhere. The barbarian king understood that these beasts, no matter how much damage they took, could recover because they were not truly living beings. To defeat them, he had only one option. He concentrated his spiritual power, and his body began to glow with a bloody aura. Suddenly, a lion's head appeared in the void, and alongside him, an elephant manifested. It was clear he possessed 2 Susanoo and had brought them out for battle. He roared, "Let the sacred beasts of my tribe defeat you." The divine tree found this scene fascinating. It was rare for someone to possess 2 such spirits. Even Shaolin had needed the divine tree's guidance to achieve this, but this barbarian seemed to have it naturally. Turning back to the battle, the barbarian warriors, although surrounded by mist and suffering ambushes, showed no fear. As soon as they saw the enemy, they charged. The wind wolves of Misty Mountain began to howl and roar, signaling the start of a deadly battle. However, these warriors should not be underestimated. They were truly resilient and strong. With just a few strides, they reached the wind wolves and delivered throat-closing punches. But they overlooked the fact that Misty Mountain's beasts came in waves. An icy white dragon head emerged behind them, releasing a freezing breath that no creature could escape. Sure enough, the warriors below were frozen into immobile ice statues. Suddenly, a crescent-shaped energy blade slashed through the air from above. The ice dragon was taken aback, followed by a massive explosion. It was unclear whether the dragon could avoid the attack, as it was highly accurate and came from a distance beyond the dragon's sight. The attacker was none other than the barbarian priest, who had used the enemy's mist for cover to deliver a long-range strike. However, the ice dragon, almost at its peak evolution, wasn't easily defeated. The mist where the priest was hiding was torn apart as the dragon emerged with an ice sphere in its mouth, a manifestation of its infinite ice soul technique. The priest remained calm, forming seals and summoning a solar aura around him, setting the stage for an epic clash between ice and sun, turning the ground into a forest of cold ice thorns. On the other side, the mist beasts clashed with the barbarian spirits, a mist werewolf against the spirit elephant and the kangaroo against the lion. Their roars were deafening. Meanwhile, the barbarian king continued to fight off the lower-ranked mutated beasts below. The spiked club proved highly effective in such overwhelming battles. A single swing could strike down multiple creatures. As he fought, the barbarian king laughed with glee, believing that no one could stop him. He even encouraged the mist beasts to keep trying. After a brief moment of enjoyment, the barbarian king climbed the roots and launched himself toward the divine tree's core, shouting, "Your entire being is a treasure. Become a treasure for my tribe." Yet, the closer he got, the further the core seemed, as if he was running on a treadmill. Unbeknownst to him, the divine tree's trunk could shift positions. Suddenly, sharp leaves shot towards him, but the king shattered them with his spiked club. Before him emerged a massive root system emitting an oppressive aura, instinctively causing him to halt and reconsider his next move. From the roots grew a face, producing eerie, crackling sounds. The king adjusted his stance, excitedly saying, "It's incredible to encounter such a powerful being as you. Are you appearing to preach to me?" The divine tree, surprised by these words, replied that appearing in this form and speaking was more convenient. It then transformed into a giant face, gazing down at the tiny figure below, asking, "Or do you not like this?" Despite the overwhelming spiritual power of the divine tree, the king still urged it to become his tribe's spirit. The divine tree responded with silence, the creaking of roots filling the air. Suddenly, the king sensed imminent danger, not just ordinary intimidation, but a primal fear that even the strongest barbarian warrior would dread. After a pause, the divine tree spoke slowly, contemplating whether coexistence with the king's tribe was possible. Yet, in the end, it always resorted to force to subdue them, including both the barbarians and the beasts of this land. They were all eager to consume the divine tree. Squinting its eyes, the divine tree continued, "At first, I wondered if I was too cruel, fighting battle after battle. But thinking back, if I didn't do this, I wouldn't have a chance to survive when you all become stronger." The barbarian king remarked that the divine tree's existence was a temptation to all creatures. He continued, "Don't even speak of us. If one day you were injured, how many of these beasts would remain by your side?" The divine tree squinted with a melancholic smile, realizing it was just like the Dark King, merely a slayer, fighting to live. Suddenly, a dark spear pierced the barbarian king's heart, too fast for him to react. By the time he noticed, blood had already filled his throat, causing him to cough up blood. The roots withdrew, leaving him kneeling there. This critical blow left him unable to speak another word, and he died on the spot. But suddenly, the king stood up again, his body radiating a crimson energy. The divine tree was not surprised, having known from the start that he had another trick up his sleeve, a technique from ancient times. Perhaps in the face of death, he had awakened his ancient bloodline. With a fierce expression, the king raised his axe and charged at the divine tree. The divine tree, now intrigued like a child with a new toy, declared, "Let's play a little longer." The two clashed again, causing an explosion on the tree's trunk. Meanwhile, the sky was entirely clear, revealing countless twinkling stars. How small the earth seemed, a mere speck in the universe. Just then, a blood-red eye appeared, staring directly at the earth. The eye spoke, saying that their Gyujit had disappeared, defeated by the mutated beasts of this small planet. As it slowly opened, the eye revealed itself to be massive, capable of dwarfing a solar system. End of chapter 249.